Aloha and shalom. We're here for the new moon activation. And I am setting up. Welcome to the new moon activation. While you all tune in, I will set up I'm tuning in from the Verde Valley, Arizona, as usual. Let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. Where in the world are you? I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle while everybody tunes in. When everybody's tuning in and I see in the comments where everyone's tuning in from, I like to imagine that part of the grid lighting up. Yay, Colorado in the house. So new moon activation, new moon is all about a new beginning. We're stepping into a completely new cycle now. Last week we closed up the last cycle and prepared for this new one today. So tonight it will be fully renewed in the sky. What is the new energy stirring inside of you? Don't forget to let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. We do this every single week. We've been doing this for years. I don't know, maybe 7 years or so now. So if you end up enjoying this, please return again next week and join us. We have England in the house. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. So again, we have this every single week. A really cool community has built around these activations. If you would like to share this activation now while we're live, go ahead and share it to your favorite group, maybe to a family member or a friend who could use an uplifting message. Ohio in the house, Michigan in the house. Maybe you know someone struggling who could use a message of inspiration right now. Share this with them while we're live. Get them in the portal. Or if you have a warrior friend who is super powerful, get them in the portal now while we're live. Or of course, if they're not on Facebook, feel free to share the recording at the end. It will go to YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic. Just give it a little time because it does take me a little time after these videos to move it over to YouTube and Instagram, but it will be there as always. And make sure you follow my page so that you can join us every week. And I'm sorry, I don't have an exact time that I go live, so you'll have to just use your intuition. California in the house. Let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. I'm just shuffling the Hebrew cards now, and we're almost ready to begin. Yay, so glad to be here with you guys on this new moon. Basking in this new moon energy. It's going to be some nice stargazing tonight. Okay, beginning with the tarot. Thank you, Archetypes, Faces of the One, for this message that's about to come through, this map, so that we can move through this part of the cycle, the very beginning of this new cycle, with the most grace and ease, so that we can make the most of this experience and access our fullest potential, not just as individuals, but as a collective. South Africa in the house. Continue to let me know where in the world you're tuning in from as we go, okay? Okay, again, thank you, Archetypes, Faces of the One, for this message that's about to come through. Thank you, thank me, thank we, thank the one. Beginning with the new focus, the challenge and gift. Something we're leaving behind, why we're experiencing this. And I'm feeling like I want to pull a hidden fear. Yeah, I want to pull a hidden fear. And then a Hebrew letter as our main ally of the week. Y'all ready? Colombia in the house. We're lighting up the grid, everybody. Okay, here we go. Beginning with a major arcanum card. I feel like I want to show you guys what it looks like just so you can see. I don't always do that, but okay, we're back. I don't know. I just walked around to try to get some more service. Hopefully it stays. And that's funny because I was like, I don't usually show that, but I'll show you guys. And then, boop, I lost you. Anyway, for the future, remind me not to move this thing around. Okay. All right. We have Ontario in the house. We have Egypt in the house. All right, cool. Let's continue on. So we flipped over the focus, the current challenge and gift, and we started off with a major arcanum card, and it is the High Priestess, let me move my fingers, also known as the Veiled Isis in ancient times. High Priestess or Veiled Isis. And this is the current focus, the main challenge and gift at the time of this new moon. And it looks like perhaps some of us may have come away from our intuition a little bit. Maybe we're focused too much on the outside and not on the inside. Right now, the goal is to remember that we are this archetype. We are the gatekeeper of what comes in and what goes out. Okay, so we are responsible for maintaining this inner space. What are we allowing in our ears, right? In our mouth? What are we eating? What music are we listening to? Which people are we surrounding ourselves with? What are we absorbing from our environment? And what are we contributing? What words are we speaking? The words you speak become the house you live in. So the High Priestess, being the current focus, is saying it's really time to lock in. Get really clear with that gatekeeper archetype. Be watchful. Be aware what needs to be cleansed, what needs to be removed, and what needs to be allowed in. And everything begins with the mind, right? Because the first principle of Hermetics is the principle of mentality. So begin there. What beliefs did you perhaps allow in unconsciously? What beliefs did you allow in, not even realizing that you allowed those beliefs to find a place within your mind, your consciousness? How can you undo that? How can you rewire those beliefs? All right, I'm going to pull the surrounding cards and we're going to connect it to the other things that are going on right now. So we're going to now flip over the card that's representing what can be left in the past. The Tower. So we have 2 major arcanum cards so far out of 4 of the tarot cards that we pulled. 2 major arcana. Big themes. So we're moving away from this chaos energy. Okay, we're moving away from the chaos and coming back to the quiet, coming back to the self. We've got to leave behind this energy of, what else do I need to let go of? What is all that I lost? Woe is me. Oh my goodness, so much chaos. Yes, things have fallen away. Yes, we had to let go of a lot of things. We've had to adapt. There had been a major turn of events. And now it's time to just find quiet. Find solitude. It's perfect for the new moon, okay? Because the sky is dark, the night is dark. It's a great time to come back to that place within yourself, to go deep into your subconscious, where your true thoughts and feelings lie. And in order to come into this quiet space and really observe what's going on there beneath it all, we need to come away from the chaos, come away from all of the stories that we've been telling ourselves. However true, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of noise, a lot of extraneous thoughts. And if we want to come into this place of quietude, to really see what is there, what emotions are trying to get our attention, what thoughts are trying to get our attention, we need to move away from the loud noise and the chaos. You will be able to repair, you will be able to realign. There will be a time for the dust to settle and all that, but it's right now the time to tune into the quiet that's always there, even when there's chaos going on. Your intuition is always speaking. Your psychism is always waiting for you to attune to it. But we need to leave behind the stories for a moment. We need to let go of the outside world and all the chaos so that we can come back to what is within and remember that we're manifesting from that space. From the inside to the out, not the other way around. It all begins within. And if we become so consumed by all of the chaos around us, that inner voice gets drowned out. And we start to forget the way in which the energy is manifesting from within to without, not the other way around. We want to manifest from the inside out, because when we forget about that, we forget our power. We simultaneously forget our power. We simultaneously give up all accountability, and we begin to act as though the outside world is controlling us. We begin to forget our power as co-creators in this reality. So we need to quiet the noise, and it doesn't matter. Your ego is going to try to tell you, oh, but it's real. Oh, but this is so intense. Oh, but this is so uncomfortable. Oh, but this is so painful. And we really need to do X, Y, and Z. And we got to make that call. And say, whoa, pause. Come back to the quiet voice within yourself so that you can find a path that is going to be more proficient, more efficient, a path that's going to be more graceful, with less crisis and drama. Don't forget, you're manifesting from the inside out. And a hidden fear. Okay, another major arcanum card comes out. The Hierophant. So we have 3 major arcanum cards. 3 out of the 4 that we've pulled now are really powerful characters, archetypes. I'm going to say some statements that would be a reflection of the fear that this archetype would be saying in your mind. Okay, and then I'm going to flip the script. And I'm going to give you the antidote to that fear, which is this archetypal expression in positivity. Okay, so let's begin with this expression, the Hierophant, in fear, in negativity. It would look like, what if I don't know the way to go? What if I don't have a compass to guide me? What if my heart is not attuned to the truth? What if there is someone else trying to deceive me? What if I fall for a scam? What if I fall for a lie? What if someone is trying to control me? Okay, these are all statements of fear that would come from this archetype within your own psyche. And if we flip the script, it looks like, I know the way to go. My heart has a direct connection to the ultimate truth. No one can control me. I am free and sovereign. I always know which way to go when I tune into my heart. How does this connect to the other 2 cards? It looks like this. You've been in the chaos. Unexpected things took place. You're having to adjust. Don't get lost in it. Okay, no one did this to you but yourself. You don't have to be afraid of it. Roll with it. Open up to the changes that are inevitably taking place. And if you open up to those changes and you cooperate with the inevitable and you connect to the truth in your heart, you have nothing to fear, but you have to take the reins now. Okay? If amidst all this chaos that has been taking place, you give up accountability, you give up your power, and you say, "Oh, I'm as good as lost. Nothing good is going to come of this. This person is in power. This person is the one controlling the situation. I have no control." What's happening is you're letting yourself live from the outside in and not the inside out. You are forgetting who you are. You are forgetting your power as a co-creator, as a creative archetype in this multiverse. You're giving up your power and you're allowing for a situation where it is going to look like someone or some people are controlling you. It is going to look like you're out of control and you cannot see any positivity in the future. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but that's because you are giving up your power. And you're going to go through that same lesson again and again until you can wake up and realize that the power is absolutely in your hands. And you are driving this ship. And you're simply being tested when everything feels like it's falling apart around you. In that moment, not when it's easy, but in that moment is when you need to remember your power embrace the change, open up to the inevitable death and rebirth that is happening each moment. Know that no one truly has power over you. You are connected to an infinite source of the greatest power that exists. So you don't need to be afraid of being out of control. You don't need to be afraid that someone else is pulling the strings and you're their puppet. Take your power back. And why we're going through this? 8 of Cups, our first minor arcanum card out of the 4. Why we're going through this, so that we can move away from situations that have left us feeling like we're powerless. Leaving situations that we attached to because we thought we needed to. Leaving relationships or projects, careers, places of living behind. Or realizing that it has been no good for us. Okay, this could look like maybe you've been attached to a relationship out of trauma bonding. Perhaps you were staying in a home, in a space of living, or with a job, or doing a project because you thought it's what you needed to do. You thought that if you walked away, someone would be mad or you would be punished. But we're going through this so that we can take our power back and understand that nothing that's happening to us is a punishment. It's not someone else being in control. It's all lessons and blessings. And so it's up to us to bravely dig deeper into the situations we know are for our highest good, we know are teaching us, and we're willing to take on those lessons, or walk away from those situations that we were staying in out of fear of being exposed for who we really are, out of fear of being punished. Perhaps you thought you were going to hurt someone by staying in a certain situation, whether that's career related, relationship, whatever. Perhaps you thought that staying was better, but understand that sometimes walking away is best. And oftentimes it's the best thing for the other, even if you think they're going to be upset or they're going to be hurt. So you need to go beyond that. You need to see the bigger picture and allow that bigger picture vision, which your intuition is going to tell you all about, to guide your decisions, to stop acting like you're powerless, stop acting like someone is pulling the strings, take accountability for your life, be brave, dig deeper into those situations that you know really require more of your presence and energy, and get that energy, recollect that energy by pulling it back from the situations you've been leaking your energy into unnecessarily, those unworthy sources that you've been feeding your energy to, again, out of fear. Pull away from those places and those situations you've been staying in for the wrong reasons. Recollect that energy and pour it into the more worthy situations, relationships, projects, jobs, etc. And the Hebrew letter ally of the week is the letter Hey. It's the 5th letter of the alphabet, so it's actually connected to Arcanum 5, the Hierophant. And this is all about praising the Most High, who also lives inside of your heart, right? It's very connected to the Hierophant, who is the teacher inside of your heart. So if this is the ally this week, the Hey is telling us to remember to give thanks, to praise the Most High. What is that light? When we remember that great light and how we are just a part of that infinite light, it's humbling. It's humbling. And so when we reach that space of humility, in praise, in gratitude, we can get right on our path again. And remember that there's no one trying to control us. No one can control us. There's only one here. Praise. So grateful. How silly of me to think that someone else could control my life. There's only one here. Okay, and when we do that, when we reconnect to the Most High in praise, in gratitude, in humility, only then can we open up the space, can we be receptive to our own intuition. The voice of that very source, the voice of truth, love, light. Okay, so the Hey being the ally of the week reconnects us to the teacher inside of our heart, which is simply a reflection of that infinite light, that infinite power, that source of all creation. And when we tap into that, we can release our fear of someone else controlling us. We can take accountability again as co-creators in this reality, step away from the chaos and living from the outside in, and instead reverse that energy and live again from the inside out. And when we become grounded again in that space and in that flow of energy, moving the energy from the inside out, then we can get right on our path in this material reality, okay? In this actual reality where we're all existing as humans with these names, in these situations, with these stories. And the story will change when we're living from that place and truly directing the energy in the appropriate way, from the inside out. Then we'll have the courage, then we'll have the power and the determination and the inspiration to walk away from those things that we were simply attached to out of fear. Recollect our energy and direct it toward those situations, those relationships, those projects that are going to serve this high, holy light source. Because that's the most important thing. And the only way we can move beyond the fear and truly let go of situations we've been so attached to is by really connecting from a space of humility to the most high, hey, holy Hierophant, the teacher within our hearts. Okay, so there's a lot here. There's a lot going on here. I'm looking at the numbers 2, 16, 17, 18. For those of you who are super into numbers, you can see we have a 5 and a 5. Plus a 2 makes 7. Then we have 8. And we have 16, which when you reduce it makes a 7. So you have like 5, 6, 7, 8 sequence here for anybody who's super into the numbers. Okay, so just to sum it up here, we've been in a space of victimizing ourselves, moving from the outside in, getting lost in the world of chaos around us, giving up our power to some outside source, however unconsciously. Maybe for some of us it's more conscious and for some of us it's more unconscious. But now we're reeling it in. We're remembering who is the Most High in humility and in praise, in gratitude, reconnecting to that holy light, that infinite power, knowing that it was so silly to ever give up our power and to think someone else was controlling us when there's only one here. Reconnecting to the heart, the holy, the infinite light. And from that space of connection, activating the voice of intuition so it can guide us to finally let go of situations and relationships and projects that were just not worthy of our energy, that we were staying in out of fear or from trauma, as a trauma response, just staying. Leaving those things behind once and for all, taking our power back and going to those situations, pouring ourselves into those situations that are truly worthy. Those situations and those relationships that when we give ourselves to those relationships, they're going to manifest more opportunities for the light to be multiplied in the universe, meaning giving our energy to those situations and relationships that are going to conjure more opportunities for us to be better people, for us to be virtuous people, for us to do acts of goodness. If you are trauma bonding, if you're stuck in a situation out of fear, chances are you are limiting yourself and the self from bringing heaven to earth. You're saying, no, I don't want more opportunities to be a good person. I want to just sit here in the vibration of fear, which is the vibration of death and decay and disease. Instead, we want to give our energy to those situations that we are choosing from a space of love, because love is healing, is wholeness, is the light of immortality. So it's only ever one or the other, you guys. It's only either death or life, dark or light, chaos or order, disease or healing. And if we're choosing to stay in situations, like if you're choosing a job or choosing to live in a space or choosing to be in a relationship that is out of fear, it's promoting disease, decay, and death. Not just for you, but for the collective. So we need to instead reconnect to that holy light that is within your heart of hearts, so that from that space you can be guided to say yes, to choose situations and relationships from that space of love. No longer afraid of walking away from those other situations, so that we can give our fullest presence to those situations that we are guided to from that space of love. And from there, we are guaranteed to be contributing to the light of immortality, the light of goodness, the light of healing. Again, it's one or the other. So stop giving up your power. Come back to yourself. Come back to the truth inside yourself. Be guided from that space and choose a life of love. Choose to be moved by love for love. And again, the only way you can do this is if you stop saying yes to situations out of fear. Say yes out of love. Happy new moon, you guys. Enjoy this powerful work. I will be doing it too. Got to make choices out of love. And listen, remember, you guys, the other thing that comes up to say is this, that it doesn't always look like actually walking away physically. Like none of this is even real, right? Like time and space aren't even real. So sometimes it can look like transforming the energy. Walking away from a certain belief that you had about the situation can transform the entire situation just like that. Okay, so it's about transforming within, and then the transformation without will take place. Make choices with love. If you choose to rest in that space of love and move from there, the rest will be effortless on the outside. You don't need to, in fact, don't work from the outside in. Remember, it's from the inside out. So rest in that space of love and allow that to move you. And as you approach certain people or certain settings, certain places, certain projects that you have approached every day for, say, years, it doesn't matter. The point is that you are approaching from a different frequency within yourself. And allow that to guide you. And that might look like having hard conversations, leaving behind a relationship, quitting a job. But it can also look like having a hard conversation that leads to recommitting to that job, maybe in a new position. Maybe that's having a talk with a boss who then promotes you or gives you a different position within the same job. Remember, it's not about the world of appearances and what it looks like on the outside. It's about choosing to be rooted in love, making decisions from that space, and watching the inevitable transformations happen on the outside and not resisting it. And again, that can look like you're still in the same relationship, but truly it's not the same, it's transforming. Okay, so don't be fooled. And the only way you won't be fooled is if you live from the inside out and not the outside in. Rest in that space of love and allow that to guide you to your next decisions, to your next conversations that are going to transform your reality one way or another. Thank you guys for doing this work with me. Feel free to talk about how this is unfolding for you in your life in our private group, the Archetypal Alliance. Remember, this is going to go to YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic, if you want to share it with someone who's not on Facebook. Shabbat Shalom. And if you appreciated this activation or previous ones, please leave me a review. Just go to facebook.com/RoyalPathTarot and leave me a review. You pick an amount of stars and write a little review, or you can email me info@RoyalPathTarot.com. If you want to book a private reading with me or buy it as a gift for someone, it's truly the gift that never stops giving. Just go ahead and email me info@RoyalPathTarot.com or private message me and let me know you want to book a reading with me. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. I want to meet ya. All right, you guys, Shabbat Shalom. I'll see you next week for the first quarter activation.